Hey guys, Tim Janik here. I am going to be running with you guys the CrossFit Victorious Endurance team. There's my dog, Roxy, who's also my running partner. Wanted to go over a couple things. So this is probably maybe your first week to try out pose running, which is definitely a change in your body, okay? Where you're asking your body to change things up. From going from a heel strike to more of a forefoot strike. That's something that I've been working on for quite some time. Friday I did go for a run. I went for about a 3-mile run. Actually, one of my new Luna sandals here, which I had a great time running in them. Been waiting to get these for a long time. After I got through running, I had that same feeling, tightness in the calves. My feet were a little sore, things like that. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to kind of go over a couple things. People also on Facebook talking about their ankles being tight. I know Coach Aaron has gave some good suggestions for some exercises, so make sure you're doing those, okay? Those are really important. Not only that, but stretching and mobilizing after you get through. So one of the things that I'm doing here is I'm gonna this is actually a racket ball. I prefer you probably use a lacrosse ball. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to roll my leg back and forth over my calf, okay? So right there I can feel it's really, really tight. I'm going to take my foot, point and flex to get that tissue mobilized there, because what we want to do is we want to loosen it up, okay? Now once it starts to loosen, I'm going to move down to the next segment. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to roll left and right. Notice how I'm rolling my leg like it's a log. So I'm not going back and forth like this. I'm actually turning my leg out and then turning it in. There's a little tight spot there, point and flex, okay? We're going to do that all the way down to get the whole tissue. All right, now as we start getting down here, we're going to start getting more into a muscle called the soleus, which is a muscle that we're going to be using quite a bit. We use it when we squat. Those things is actually deep to the gastrocnemius. So if we look at the calf muscle here, okay, the one that looks really, really cool on everybody, where you have that nice looking shape right there, that's called the gastroc. The one underneath that is the soleus. The gastroc is your showboat. That's the one that always looks good. The one underneath it is the soleus, that's your workhorse, okay? So, we're gonna keep continuing on down the leg, rolling that leg, okay? Going left to right, isolating spots right there, have that, like this tight band that's going right down the outside of my leg, okay? You might find the same thing. That's actually quite common in most people, okay? So we're gonna do that. After we get through doing that, we're gonna take I've got a dog leash here. Okay, I'm going to take my dog leash, I'm going to make my leg straight. When I stretch my leg straight like this, what happens is I stretch the gastroc, that nice showboat looking muscle. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that foot back, okay? I'm going to pull it back, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to push my foot into the dog leash for about 5 seconds. After I get through pushing for 5 seconds, I'm going to pull my foot up again and bring it right into a stretch, okay? We want to keep that knee nice and straight. You can do that 3 to 5 times, okay? So again, push into the dog leash, and then after that, I'm gonna pull my foot up, feel a nice stretch right in the back of the calf there, all right? After that, I want to bend the knee. I'm going to do the same thing, but this time with a bent knee, okay? The gastroc crosses the knee joint and also the ankle joint. So it's important to keep the knee straight so that way we can isolate the gastroc. After that, we bend the knee. Now we're going to isolate that deeper workhorse muscle, the soleus. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to pull the foot up, okay? Assist it with the dog leash, and then I'm going to push for about 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then again, I'm going to pull my foot up. Okay, now where I felt most of the tightness was when I was doing the gastroc stretch with my leg straight, okay? So, whichever stretch you feel the stretch most on, do that stretch more, all right? That's real important, okay? Here's the other part. This part will loosen up the ankles quite a bit because we're changing our running stance from a heel strike to a more of a forefoot strike. We're using most of these muscles back here. Not only that, there's one muscle that goes right down the side, actually down the back of the muscle is called the posterior tibialis or tibialis posterior, okay? And that muscle comes all the way down the inside of the leg and attaches right here underneath the arch. Very, very important muscle because it actually keeps that arch pulled up, all right? This is also the culprit for people who have shin splints, okay, usually they have the shin splints and the pains right through here, so they isolate this area and it never gets better. So if you are having shin splints or experiencing tightness here in the front, you want to take a racket ball or a lacrosse ball, and you're going to see that there's this tibia right here. You want to go right behind it, okay? Take the ball and you're going to mash right into it. Now what's important is to keep this foot off the ground. So here's what I'm going to do. Let's hope this gets on camera here. Okay, I'm going to take my my racket ball. I'm going to push right behind this bone right here. You can see my finger going behind the bone. Okay, push right behind the bone. And what I'm going to do is take my foot, I'm going to rotate it in and out, and also point and flex, okay, to get that tissue all loosened up. After I've done that spot, I'm going to move the ball down again. I'm going to push towards the outside of my leg, okay, and then I'm going to push up against the bone, the back of the bone, point and flex. Do the same thing. And I can feel all that is really, really tight, really sensitive. So I want to get that loosened up before the next time I go run, because again, we're changing the way our muscles function, okay? If you wear shoes with heels in them, you want to make sure you're stretching these every day. If you're not, if you have the ability to go to a different shoe, start wearing flats or start wearing something with less of a heel. Same thing when you're working out, okay? There was a big movement back when CrossFit started out where a lot of people were wearing 5-finger Vibrams, things like that, going to the Converse shoes and stuff like that before they had the Reebok Nano shoes. After you get finished working all back through here, okay, what you're going to do to stretch that out is you're going to take your foot just like this, okay, hopefully you can see what I'm doing here, and you're going to rotate that foot out, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to push, like I'm trying to push my foot across my body like that, or across the floor. So I'm going to push into my hand. After I get through pushing for about 5 seconds, I'm going to again rotate my foot out. Okay, so I've got pretty good range of motion there. I'm not feeling a lot of tightness, but that's just going to help keep that opened up nicely. So if you see me at the gym, you have any questions about any of these stretches or issues that you've got going on, just hit me up, okay, let me know. Also, I am available if you need me to do more specific work on you, things like that. So I'll be posting more of these videos this week, so keep an eye out for them. Make sure you're keeping up with these 3 stretches. Remember, working the gastroc right through there, okay, and the soleus, and then stretching with the straight leg, with the bent leg, and then after that, working right behind this bone, okay, to get that tibialis posterior, okay, to loosen that up, so that way when you go out for your next run on Tuesday and on Thursday and then again on Saturday, you can continue running and maintain good form without injury and achieve your goal. So this is Tim Janik. I'm signing out, your mobility specialist at CFV. If you have any questions, let me know. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.